Raman Realty provides real estate services in Santa Clara, San Mateo, San Francisco, and Contra Costa counties. Whether you're getting ready to buy or sell, in the middle of it, or just looking for some answers, we are here to help. Our goal is to provide the best insight, tools, and deliver the best financial results. Our innovative listing plan benefits our clients by providing a full-service MLS listing without paying the high real estate commissions. Our home buying plans are also designed to pass huge savings to our buyers. To learn more about our special offers and services, please either visit our website, www.ramanrealty.com, or contact Raman Mirzapur at 408-499-8957. Email raman@ramanrealty.com. Pay the lowest fees, sell for the highest price, and net maximum proceeds.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Lynette Vardeh and I'm a host here with AGN. Joining me today is Rob Hilbert from Aramaic Bible Translate, or ABT. Hi Rob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So Rob, I have a couple questions for you today, but before we get into it, can you give us some background on Aramaic Bible Translate, or ABT?
So I became connected with ABT through another organization that I'm still working with called Lutheran Bible Translators, or LBT. And with LBT, I served as a missionary in Sierra Leone and Botswana with my family. And while I was there, we worked in Bible translation, and I also worked in literacy. However, due to some family health issues, we needed to return to the United States, and then I was looking for a new assignment. Lutheran Bible Translators had become involved with ABT, providing technical support and financial support, and they had asked me if I would be interested in helping out with some of the work that ABT was doing from the United States, and I was happy to accept.
So, Rob, do you have any Assyrian family members or any Assyrian heritage?
I do, yeah. So that's why I was so happy to accept the work with ABT, because my grandparents on my mother's side are both from the Urmia region, and they fled the area during the genocide and came to the United States. They didn't actually, unfortunately, speak Assyrian growing up in the household. It was kind of a different time, and they were more interested in assimilating at that time, and would only speak English to my mom and her brother. So I was never actually taught Assyrian. I never learned it. It was never spoken at my house growing up. And so that's really impressed upon me, seeing all of the Assyrian spoken today, and all of the speakers, and just like your network existing today, and doing a lot of production in Assyrian. It's really impressive to me that today we have Assyrian as a viable language, even though with that generation it was something different. They were almost ashamed of speaking Assyrian, and wanted to change. But now I think things are different, and it seems like preserving Assyrian is very important to people, and has definitely changed how Assyrian households are viewing their own language.
No, that's definitely true. I know, everyone nowadays, they want to keep the language alive. They want to teach everyone Assyrian for generations to come. We definitely want to keep the language alive and going for many generations and years to come as well. So it's nice to have a Bible translation in Assyrian.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rob, can you talk about the roots of the Assyrian Bible translation project?
Sure. So The project has been going on for a few years. ABT was able to publish the New Testament in New Assyrian. So that is a revision, well, not actually a revision, it's an entirely new translation in Assyrian, but it's based upon the Urmia Bible, which was published in the 19th century. And so what we found was that many people who speak Assyrian today had a difficult time understanding the Urmia translation and wanted to provide an updated version of the New Testament. And then now we're currently working on the complete Bible. So the New Testament was published in 2014. It's widely available. We post it online for anyone to use. And there you have a copy of it. And the complete Bible is currently a work in progress, but we hope to publish a version of that with the Psalms, Proverbs, and New Testament soon, and then eventually the complete Bible with all books included.
Well, thank you, Rob. So this is actually a good segue into the next question. So why would you consider it important for Assyrian speakers to have another Bible translation?
Well, the Urmia translation can be difficult to understand, and part of the reason for that is the way that it was translated. So, not necessarily based on the original Hebrew, and not necessarily based on the dialects being spoken at the time. A lot of the translation work, not to speak badly about it, because it's a wonderful translation that should be treasured. But a lot of the translation, and this is true for a lot of older translations, is very literal, and that makes it a little more difficult to understand. So with the translation that's being done now, it's the goal is to make it a little bit easier to understand, so that it can be used with scripture engagement tools, like putting it online, producing audio versions, producing movies, so that scripture would be more easily understood in those formats. But we definitely want it to be used in churches, and a lot of times reading the Urmia Bible in church can sometimes be a little bit challenging for the congregations to understand. So the newer versions will make that much easier.
No, that definitely makes sense, and I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate it when all of the new versions come out. So Rob, can you explain a little bit, what does the process of Bible translation actually look like?
So Bible translation has a few steps that we have to go through for each book contained within the Bible. So the first step is always doing the initial draft, and we use a very powerful software program called Paratext, which allows the person doing the draft to bring up Hebrew or other books, other translations simultaneously with what they're working on, and have it all on one screen. And then also includes a lot of commentary built into the software. And there's a lot of checks and things that can be done automatically, which wouldn't have existed even just a few years ago. So now we have some amazing software which allows us to put together very good drafts that are easily transferred into the printable formats. So that's the first step, is doing the initial draft. And then we do what's called team checking. So the translators on the team will check their drafts and make sure that they're easily understood with each other. And then we take it into the community. We have a team of readers who help us to test it and make sure that it's, again, easily understood by people who are native Assyrian speakers. And then we take it to a consultant, who would be somebody who's possibly a professor or has a PhD in linguistics and is very well versed in linguistics and in studying scripture, and has lots of experience doing this. And then they take a look at it, and then we're able to publish it once it's approved. And so then publishing can take place in a few different formats. So we can publish it online we'll put it in PDF formats and then send it to Scripture Earth to put online so anybody can access it. And then eventually we'll send it to a publishing house and print an actual print Bible so that people can use it in church and bring it home and use it however they need to.
Wow, well, that's such a rigorous process. Thank you so much for explaining. I personally didn't know what a Bible translation process looks like, so I'm glad that you were able to explain it, and I'm sure most of the viewers also don't know, so we're all on the same page, and we're very thankful for the explanation.
Sure. Yeah, it can take a long time. Each book can sometimes take months to complete.
Yeah. So, Rob, how have you seen the Lord working through ABT and the Assyrian translation?
Well, we've seen it in a few ways. So one, for me as an administrator, it's been amazing to see all of the different ways where we've had our prayers answered. So we've had multiple times where we haven't known how things are going to go in the future with the projects, whether or not we're going to have the funding that we need, whether or not we're going to have the individuals we need to help with the translations. But God has always provided the funding and the personnel that we've needed for the work that we've been doing.
So, Rob, what are the hoped results for this project?
So our main goal is to eventually produce a complete Bible with the Old Testament and New Testament in Assyrian, and provide that translation in the heart language of modern Assyrian speakers around the world. So we want to, we will obviously be publishing online, and the online version will be available through YouVersion or other Bible apps that you can, download on your phone. And then we always publish on Scripture Earth, and that's available to anybody who has a computer or a phone. So that's our goal is to get basically the translated Scripture into as many hands as possible. And then paper Bibles, which are still so useful, especially for people worshiping in church. We want those to be distributed as far and wide as possible. And then once the translations are produced, then it's we're able to. I think of Bible translation as kind of a foundation, so we're able to build upon that foundation. Or I think of it as the foundation for a house. So but the translation becomes the foundation for other scripture engagement products to build upon. Mm-hmm. So we have products like the Jesus film or the gospel films. I don't know if you've seen those. They're available on Netflix. You might see the Gospel of John. Yeah. A lot of those are translations using a lot of those are using translations like the one that ABT is going to produce. Mm-hmm. And so without the translation work that people like our translators Dempson and Auteur go through, those products, those scripture engagement products wouldn't exist. They wouldn't be possible. So we want to definitely contribute to those and provide those to the Assyrian speakers around the world.
Yeah, no, those are fantastic hopes, and I hope they all come true. So, Rob, who are some of the supporters of this project?
So we have numerous supporters who provide prayer support and financial support. A few of those are Assyrian organizations. So we have the AUAF Foundation in Chicago, who have been huge supporters of the project, and we're very thankful to them. We also have a few churches who have been providing financial support, like the Assyrian Christian Church in Chicago, the Assyrian Evangelical Church of San Jose, St. John's Presbyterian Church in Turlock, the Assyrian Presbyterian Church of San Jose. We're thankful to them for their prayer support and their financial support and their partnerships. The projects wouldn't be possible without them. And we also have some supporters that are not Assyrian and just think that these projects are worthwhile. So we have Tyndale House in Chicago as a big supporter. They provide grants for administrative things and travel. And then Lutheran Bible Translators has been our biggest financial supporter right now. And we're very grateful to the support that they provide. And then, of course, we have many individuals around the world who also provide support. But what we're most grateful for are the people who support us through prayer, and that partnership is incredible. You can't put a value on it. So
Yeah.
we're very, very thankful for all the people out there who are thinking of us and praying for us.
Yeah. Well, that leads to my next question. So how can our listeners be praying for you and for ABT?
Our biggest need right now is probably for finding the personnel to help us with some of the projects that we have going on.
Mm-hmm.
So as Jesus said in Matthew 9:37, the harvest is great, but the workers are few. And that's definitely true for us today. So we would appreciate prayer to find the individuals that we need to provide technical support for some of the projects that we're working on.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely be praying for you here. So Rob, thank you so much for all of your time today. We really appreciate it. Do you have any last comments, or would you like to say anything to our viewers?
Well, I would say Basimet to all of the viewers out there and everyone who has supported the projects. People can go to our website at aramaic.bible.org if they want to learn more about the Aramaic Bible translation projects. And also, people can go there and make a donation if they feel so inclined.
Well, thanks, Rob. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, this was Rob Hilbert from Aramaic Bible Translate. On behalf of AGN, we thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time.